Self-accountability is everything, and without it, you'll never reach your full potential as a person. Self-accountability and self-reflection is the only way for you to maximize on your weaknesses and maximize on your strengths. Without that, you'll never know your weaknesses and you'll never know your strengths. And without you knowing your weaknesses and your strength, you can never be fully operating at your full potential. Whether it's trading, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's money, whether it's any industry that you can dive in, you will never fully really master it without you being self-accountable. So what is self-accountability? What is reflecting on yourself? And what is really self-accountability, and how do you really apply it on yourself? Self-accountability is really just checking yourself, right? Most of us and most of you people don't have mentors, and you'd be doing something and slowly moving from the good habits to the bad habits. And if you don't apply self-reflection and self-accountability, you will never really notice those else, right? You will always shift the blame from yourself to the other, right? You will always find an excuse and blame it on something else. But when you are fully accountable and you're 100% self-accountable, you will always blame yourself. Everything is your fault, right? When something doesn't go your way, it's your fault. You take full responsibility. Self accountability leads to being responsible. It really leads to self responsibility, right? The only way you can really master yourself and make the important changes that you need along your way to the journey to success is only by you being self-accountable. You need to hold yourself up to a standard, and if you don't reach that standard each and every single day, you have to be self-accountable. You have to look at regret, because regret is a guideline, right? What you did yesterday and you regret doing, just look at it and don't repeat the same thing today, because regret is your guideline. If you just don't do the things that you regret every single day, automatically you now applying self-accountability, and self-accountability comes with you taking responsibility. So how do you apply self-accountability? Is simply each and every day when you wake up, think about something you regret from yesterday and avoiding the same thing you did yesterday. If you know you drank yesterday and you regret going to drink yesterday, don't do the same thing again today, because regret is your guideline. Regret and your conscious, right? Your conscious will always tell you to do the right thing. Regret is just a guideline to guide you on what the bad thing might have been, right? So that's just it, guys. Self-accountability, you must 100% apply it, and it can also help you in trading, because in trading, once you start blaming the market, once you start blaming something else and saying the market was stop loss hunting you and all that, the market is choppy and all that, you're only having the victim mindset, and that will only be able to get you through a certain period of time, right? But long term, you might not be in the game, right? Because when you take full responsibility, when you blame everything on yourself, it forces you to level up, it forces you to become a better person, right? It forces you to reflect, right? And when you reflect is honestly when you get better as a person. Without self-reflection, without self-accountability, without self-introspection, you are really not gonna operate at your full highest potential, because self-accountability also includes you checking your diet. Self-accountability also includes you correcting the way you speak, correcting your positive talks, correcting the thoughts you have throughout the day. Positive self-talk comes from being accountable with yourself, right? It comes from self-introspection, it comes from self-accountability. That is the definite root of all success, being self-accountable, because self-accountable leads to responsibility, and responsibility leads to you knowing that you are the only person responsible for the success of yourself, right? Nothing else, no one is really coming to save you, anything like that. So just know the next time you receive you hit an L in trading, you don't hit your take profit, or maybe you just take a loss, just blame it on yourself. Really just blame it on yourself, because you can now find ways on how to improve and how to become better. But without that, you can never really operate at your fullest potential without being self-accountable, right? Because you are the only one that can tell yourself that I need to eat healthy today. No, fuck, my diet is fucked up. I need to tweak this today and all that, right? Nobody can do that for you. And the only way to do that is through self accountability and self introspection, and reflecting each and every day, and using your guidelines and using regret as your guidelines. Because what you regret doing yesterday, don't do it today, and you're now automatically a better person.